Hi, everybody. I'm Candid Frank Stanisci of Candid Frank Live's Leaf Talk. Welcome to the Spanglish World Network on Zingo TV, channel 250. Please remember to download the Zingo TV app at the respective app stores for iOS and Android devices. While you download, make sure you rate and leave a comment. Both apps are absolutely free. Zingo TV is available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire TV sticks, Roku sticks, and also on all smart TVs 2016 forward. Now in Leaf Talk, joining me as usual is Air William Freeland. And I don't know if we're going to be able to wipe the smile off his face tonight, but we'll give it a shot. What do you think, folks? Shall we give it a shot? Well, Aaron, so did you poop your drawers at the beginning of the game?
I was concerned, but not overly so.
Well, because there were two periods left.
Exactly. I mean, it was a little too early to pull the dump handle on the rest of the season over a slow start. But at the same time, the game started at 7, not at 7:30. So what's going on here, boys? Help me out.
It is truly amazing that this is nothing new for the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is nothing new of an experience for Maple Leaf fans and the like that watch the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are a great team, and they aren't. But here's the thing: we must put it in perspective, as Aaron likes to do every week. Look how many points they got, and look how many wins they've got in this playoff. So Aaron, to you, I honor you by saying, it's 3-2 Leafs.
It's 3-2 Leafs. I think that's the best that can be said for it. But I mean, in all honesty, it wasn't a pretty start to the game. But like the weather in Newfoundland, wait 5 minutes, it'll change.
The thing I liked about the game more than anything, Aaron, and I hope from now on you'll hear my voice in your head when Austin Matthews lays out a hit. I want you to hear my voice, because I've said it from day one that if that guy starts to hit people, that cross check was just, to the face, was just an introductory offer to Matthews and his desire to win. And he is, by far, I think by far, on the Leaf team at least, the best two-way player on that team.
Oh, there is the work that he did over the summer to bring his defensive game up to par, and the amount of time that he spends after practices are done working on additional stuff is great. I'm still concerned every time he blocks a shot, as everyone should be, because
he does the
blocking
flamingo
shots is
though
for
when he
goalies.
does.
Oh, yeah,
He does the flamingo when he does it. He lifts up his dress and hopes for the best. You're right. The thing is with Matthews is that he's a big guy. He's a big guy, and he laid out a hit. And I got to tell you, if you're a defenseman on Tampa right now, and you turn around, you're looking to see if those three guys are on the ice. First of all, it's like you're getting it's like taking a walk down New York, downtown New York. You don't know whether you're going to get punched in the face or pickpocketed, and you got Marner pickpocketing you, and then you've got Matthews giving you a little, "Hey, how you doing?" Whack.
There was of course some outcry from Tampa Bay fans over that hit on
Oh,
Sergachev. He wasn't really injured. He was up and playing the
they're a
next play.
dirty team. They're a dirty team. They got no class. They've got a lot of talent, but they got no class. After the whistle, hitting people after the whistle, the constant clutching and grabbing and getting away with it. They don't play a clean game. And the Leafs, I'm not suggesting that the Leafs are pristine, but let's be clear here. They're not the ones, who understand as well as Tampa does that you have to cross the line a little bit and hope that the officials don't see it. The Leafs haven't figured that part out yet. They seem to cross the line and get caught.
There was one instance where Steven Stamkos tripped up Austin Matthews behind the net, and
Yes.
you heard the crowd pop
Oh yeah, and then you
because the
saw what
referee's
happened.
hand didn't go up, and then the referee's hand went up. As soon as the crowd reacted, the referee realized, I'm not going to be able to get away with not calling this, so I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and call this one now.
Well, it
Um,
sure looked like the fans called that penalty. You're
oh
100% right. That was totally a fan induced penalty, but
yeah,
it shouldn't have been fan induced. It was a penalty. I mean, we've seen. You're good for at least. I'm Mike by my calculation, having watched the first 5 games. During a game, there's at least 4 or 5 times where down low in neutral zone, offensive zone, defensive zone, doesn't matter where, there's going to come a time, at least 3-4 times a game, where a Tampa player is going to grab a Leaf stick because he wants to play with 2 sticks, not just one.
it is the way it is sometimes. Sometimes you feel you can be more effective the
That's
more
playoff
equipment that you have.
experience.
Yeah.
That's playoff experience. The clutch and the chicken wing. I thought they outlawed that.
Apparently not.
Hey, listen, the Leafs won. We're happy that they won. The reason we're happy that they won, this show's called Leaf Talk. It doesn't exist without the Maple Leafs.
Now,
So
there is one thing I'd like to point out. There was some bleating, BLEATING, not bleeding, though I'm pretty sure there was plenty of that was done by some fans claiming that the Maple Leafs are the dirtiest teams, and here's the thing. Tampa Bay has had 28 power play opportunities so far these playoffs. The Maple Leafs have had 24. When it comes to penalties, the number of penalties that have been drawn, Tampa Bay has drawn 37 penalties out of the Leafs. But at the same time, the Leafs have drawn 34 on Tampa. So,
look, calling the Leafs dirty. This is a roster of players who in front of the net, when their goalie makes a save, they go over to the other. Excuse me, if you don't mind, would you move away from our goaltender? Yeah, please. Yeah, thanks. Just a little further, if you don't mind. Oh, that's okay to punch in the face. That doesn't matter. Just if you don't mind at this point. Oh, you're gonna punch me in the face again? Oh, I don't. Oh, listen. Now, forget it. Like Tampa fans can try as hard as they can. The Leafs, by my estimation, I have constantly said that they do not play playoff hockey. In other words, they don't, the stuff that their coach talked about, initiation, right? Initiating conflict. They may react to it like Morgan Riley after the third punch. He'll react to it. But that's the thing. The shots after the whistle. Come on, Tampa fans. Just count those. The problem is if you're a Tampa fan, you go, oh, that's part of the game, right? We're allowed to do that. That's part of the game, right? Well, it isn't part of the game. It's part of the officiating being lax. That's all it is. And we hear about it all the time. Don't get caught in a scrum, because you get caught in a scrum, don't do anything because you'll be the one that's called. They won't take the person that instigates. They'll take the person that reacts.
Yeah, the referee never sees the first punch. That's as a general rule of thumb. Referees do not see the first punch.
Well, no, I think also that the referees are saying, okay, you took the initiative. I won't give you the penalty, and then I'm giving you the penalty because, well, you should have taken the initiative yourself when I wasn't going to call it, you dumb. It is what it is. You know what? The Leafs have to hit, but they can only play within their means. Even though I say they got to do stuff, the players on their team that got to do it are the ones that know how to do it. Like guys like Matthews. Nylander looked like he was looking for body contact in that last game, which was a total. He talked about in the preseason. Remember what he said he wanted to do? He wanted to dominate. I think people forgot to realize that he wasn't talking about the regular season. They got confused. It's not their fault, but he does. When he wants to play, Aaron, when he wants to play, he sure can. You know,
Now, there's little doubt in my mind that when Nylander is on, Nylander is on. I mean, he's currently sitting at 3 goals and 2 assists for 5 points. That's a point a game in the playoffs. That's something that's pretty special. Right up there. I mean, Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner are both up there as well. Marner's got 7 points, 2 goals, and 5 assists. So, they're getting their feet wet. They're doing stuff this year that they didn't do last year. And lo and behold, we're not out and we're not down yet.
well,
So,
there's still these 2 games. These are the
yeah.
2 games every playoff the Leafs figure how not to win. This is the like the coach said in his availability, everything we did till now is meaningless if we don't win the next game.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the truth. Everything that the Leafs have ever done, under Dubas and with Matthews and Marner on the team and Nylander, all the good that they've done has, in everybody's mind, not, even their own, right? I think even in their own, everything they've done is almost like meaningless. And with 60 goals this year, Matthews wants this season to count, because it's like an open sentence with no period at the end of it. He gets 60 goals, they get eliminated in the first round. That 60 goals isn't as much fun, right? It's always fun to score when you win, right? Winning is what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, Matthews could have had a hat trick to take himself to 75, but if the Leafs lose 7-3, then there's really no joy in that hat trick, right?
No, absolutely not. But one thing's for sure. Marner's looking harder to frustrate than he's been in the past. He's had a couple of moments, like when his stick broke, it was like traitor. He looked at, when the tech fails you, especially with all these sticks and they're high tech, right? And it fails you. That is kind of frustrating, but there is a reason why it broke.
Yeah, he needs a better stick, or he needs a stick.
He needs a better shot. That was a terrible shot. He missed the puck. It was, he looked like me late at night trying to come down the stairs and forgot there was an extra step. And that twig snapped like it said, "What are you thinking, you dummy?" That's not the way it works. I'm going to bend about this much, but you can't hit the ice that far anyway. No, that was a bad play on his part. It was a bit of aggressiveness, and the stick broke not because of the stick, but because of him. I like how the sticks get blamed. That's good. You can do that, Aaron, if you want. But
I prefer to blame the equipment as opposed to the player.
I get it. I totally get it. But you know what? That stick abandoned him, and it was a good chance that what we saw in the game before, what we saw in Tampa. We saw a team that looked like they were going to take over the series. And what we saw at the beginning of the game, it looked more of the same. At what point do you think and why did things change in that game the Leafs just won?
There was a point shortly after the second goal was scored where the crowd picked up again and got progressively louder and louder and louder.
Didn't bail on the team.
Yeah, no, the crowd would not let them quit. And the amount of fan support, and I can tell you from game one when they won 5-0, the noise in that building was spectacular. So I can only imagine how loud it got in there because of my experience with it. That the crowd basically willed the team back into the game. Is what it basically boils down to. And the Leafs did not disappoint.
And the fans did not give up on the team.
No. It's happened in the past.
It happened in the game before, if you remember, in Maple Leaf Square. They lost that game. The fans were still there at the end of the game. This is a fan base that deserves an opportunity to celebrate. It's deserved one for 50 years plus, but who's counting? I am. I got to tell you, it's something that scientists, psychotherapists, psychologists have mentioned, and I've mentioned this before, that how a team plays, a local sports team plays, can affect the emotional standard lived by people in that community. In other words, a great team successful, regardless of who's the fan of that sport, that team, that moment, it rubs off. It's happiness. Success breeds happiness. Let's be clear. And this is a town that has had way too many dour moments, and well earned dour moments. And I don't mean well earned by them, but unavoidable dourness that has occupied the hearts and souls, and extremely a lot the brains of people in this community. So to see the fans stick by their team and still cheer them on and not boo and not make the team feel like they were being abandoned, I'm sure that was fuel for Spezza when he talked to his team, to let his teammates know that this town cares about you. They're not going to abandon you. They respect everything you've done, and I think that's good karma.
Now, the other thing to bear in mind as well is Toronto has had a small taste of success in the past 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
I know a lot of people say the AHL doesn't count, but the Toronto Marlies winning the Calder Cup in 2017, 2018 was the start. The Raptors winning the NBA title in 2019 was a follow-on for that. 2020 looked like it could be the Leafs year.
2017, don't forget the Argos.
Oh, nope, not forgetting the Argos. So that's the 5-year part. So yeah, the Argos in 2017. The
Marlies was in there too.
Mm-hmm. And then you look forward. 2020 was supposed to be the Leafs year.
Yeah, well,
and it didn't happen, right, because of COVID. And then 2021 was supposed to be the Leafs year, and again, they found a way to shoot themselves in the foot. So this fan base, we've been getting little teasers of what it's like to be successful and what it's like to be awesome, but we're not quite there yet. And when it finally does happen, we will have deserved it for supporting this team for so long. It will be our reward.
Well, are we going to do the show on Thursday or Friday this week?
As far as I'm aware, I thought it was Friday.
Okay.
Just because there's no other sports going on this particular weekend. Preseason games, I don't start for another week.
All right. No, I was just asking just to be sure. So we'll make sure Eduardo knows that we'll do the game on Friday, which means we'll be on after the game on Thursday is why I'm asking.
Yes. So we'll have an opportunity to either dissect the win or conduct a post-mortem on the disaster in Tampa, one of the two. But yeah, preseason doesn't start until Monday the 23rd for the CFL. And the next conflict that we have after that will be Friday, May 27th. But that's Toronto at Ottawa, so we can worry about that later.
Yeah, no, because then we can be upgrading our restream or taking a vacation.
One of the two.
Playing some golf.
That'd be nice. As long as it's not the Leafs playing golf, I'm happy.
Well, all the kidding aside, obviously I'm serious about the fact that Leaf fans deserve a break. You have to be as old as me to remember and actually experience the Leafs winning a Stanley Cup. I was lucky enough to watch what it was like to live in Toronto when it came to hockey. I saw, I guess, 4 or 5 Stanley Cups. It's a great feeling. It's a great celebration. The Raptors gave us an indication how big league sports, a victory, would affect this town. How I love the CFL and all that, but it pales by comparison, fan wise, to what the Raptors did, what the Leafs can do, what the Jays can do. It doesn't mean that the teams or the players or the game is less significant. It's just simply based on attention, eyeballs, and the masses, right? So they were saying there was 2 million at the Raptors. Well, maybe we shouldn't talk about this and we'll jinx it. But there will be a lot of people. I guess what we can say though is more Leaf flags are going to be coming out, more people supporting the Leafs if they could win this next game.
No, most definitely, and this is where some of the fan base will get themselves into trouble complaining about bandwagon fans. All I really have to say about that is I'm just glad you're here.
That's exactly right. I mean,
Welcome to the
be a
party.
part of the celebration, man. I
Mhm.
just finished saying that psychologists say it's a great thing when teams are successful. It creates good feeling in the community, and there's nothing that communities can use more than that kind of good feeling because it's been pretty absent over the past couple of years. So, you know, gung ho Leafs. Hopefully, we only got a couple of minutes left, and because we've asserted that we'll probably be on Friday, won't be able to do a pregame show on Thursday. So let's do that right now in the next couple of minutes that we have left.
Sure.
We need to see the Leafs weather the storm that is the Tampa Bay Lightning early in the game, like they haven't done the past few.
Now, one of the key things has always been for any sports team. So this is, a bit of a hackneyed, cliched sort of take on it. You have to score the first goal. That is hugely important for these sorts of things.
Not
When the
anymore in the
Leafs,
series, though.
well, I mean, the Leafs
that
have
that
proven
ended.
that.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail you. But
That's fine.
you're right. But until you're wrong, you're right.
And that's the thing that the Leafs and everybody harps on this too, and we've mentioned it repeatedly. The Leafs have to stay out of the box. Nope, that didn't happen. Um, the Leafs have to score first. Nope, that didn't happen. They've got to make sure that they stay on top of and don't let their top players get away with wheeling and dealing. That hasn't happened. You have to clear the front. That hasn't happened. Through some miracle, Shalgren managed to stop every single shot he faced after going in for Campbell, who got absolutely shelled.
And
And then
then
Campbell
there
came back
was
and had a dynamite game.
yes, please. Let's remember this too as well, and hand Campbell the credit that he truly deserves. Yes, 2 goals went in what, 4 shots. But those 2 goals were the last 2 that were scored until the Leafs could get their stuff together,
Yeah.
right? He made some incredible saves, and there was a talk about Spezza having the conversation with him. Great, the conversations are great. I'm not going to belittle anything that Spezza did. He's a great leader, good for him. But it's the guys that actually do it. The message is great, but if there's nobody receiving the message, it doesn't matter. If a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around, it doesn't make a noise. So what the Leafs did was they made a lot of noise, and they took the game away from Tampa, and they literally took control of the game, and they imposed their will on Tampa. The Leafs have done this. This is nothing new. As I said at the beginning of the show, we've watched them play some pretty good hockey, and we've watched them play not so good hockey. They can play pretty good hockey. And what they're going to have to do, Aaron, in my opinion, is they got to go into Tampa like they're the home team and they're the team that have something to prove, and not just take the fans out of the game, but take Tampa and their open freewheeling style, which they can play really well, and cause them to be more defensive, right? Playing from behind.
Final thoughts on this, Frank, because we're just down to the final buzzer here. As long as the Leafs can find a way to stay out of the box, get pucks on net first, they'll be fine. It's when they get away from playing their style of game that they run into difficulties. So I'm looking for good things for them coming up in Tampa Bay, and I'm hoping it all works out.
Well, I hope it does for you too, Aaron. All right, Aaron, thanks for doing this, buddy.
Thanks, Frank.
I'm Frank Stanisci for Aaron William Freeland. Thank you for watching Candid Frank Live. Leaf Talk seen live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The show can also be heard on the Spanglish World Radio Network. For Leaf Talk, other news, entertainment, sports programming we offer, please check out SpanglishWorld.ca. Spanglish World. Watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and live it. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.